um, and prepare. Oh, hi. Hello. I'm so happy to welcome you to our Unicorn Battle in Scandinavia. I'm happy to introduce you to our Anna Fedorova, our Chief Partnership Officer of Startup Network and Chief Executive Officer of the Unicorn Cup. Please welcome.
One second. Yes, hi everyone. I'm really glad to be here today. Thank you, Lila, very much. And I'm very glad to be part of this great event, Unicorn Battle in Scandinavia, that is happening thanks to our sponsors. Network VC, California Seed Fund, is our platinum sponsor. And ICU is our golden sponsor. ICU Ventures is a Kiev and London-based venture capital fund that invests in technology companies with ties to Central and Eastern Europe, focused on helping ambitious founders build global businesses. ICU makes late seed and Series A investments across the tech spectrum. And we would like to thank to our silver sponsor, Silicon Valley Syndicate Club. And I would like to remind you that the winner of today's Unicorn Battle in Scandinavia will take part for free at our Unicorn Cup, which are finals that were supposed to be held offline in Silicon Valley, but we will be holding them online on July 28th, 29th, and 30th for Asian, European, and United States locations. United States is July 30th one. And we had preliminary unicorn battles we have been holding them starting the beginning of this year in 50 major cities of the world, and all the winners of the preliminary battles will participate in our grand gala finale along with the VCs, business angels, and lots of wonderful guests and top people from all over the world. We are welcoming partners, sponsors who would like to join us for this great competition for everyone. And I would like to introduce you to our company, Startup Network, that grew to 1 million of unique users last year. We are the smart ecosystem of online platforms and solutions that is helping startups, investors, professionals, and corporations to solve almost any task in the field of innovation and startups. The oldest part of our ecosystem is Unicorn Battles. Unicorn Battles is an open competition where startups pitch for private investors and venture funds. And it's great opportunities for everyone. Please join us. As you see, we have been doing battles almost all over the world, but we are expanding and hope to do them everywhere. So if you see the country that it's not on the map yet, or that you want us to be in, please approach us, approach me, approach Lila, and we will do the event there with you. And each unicorn battle it consists of startups pitching live and investors listening to them, and judges. Our expert board is judging them. And we have been doing those events for 11 years already. We have done more than 200 of them, and actually 27 countries already are in our map. And we are doing on regular basis USA contests, 12 of them Silicon Valley, where our headquarters of our company is. One of the most recent programs we had implemented is our Silicon Finance. It's a program designated for startups willing to apply to top American accelerators. We help them to relocate and grant them funds and services worth $50,000. We invite best speakers and mentors to coach our startups online and offline for our acceleration program. So join this program to become a better version of yourself. And the most recent part of our family is Network VC California Seed Fund with two current strategies. First one, to participate as an investor in our pre-acceleration program for the chosen startups. And second one, to be a lead investor in our Silicon Valley Syndicate Fund. And our Silicon Valley Syndicate Fund is a special structure that allows venture syndicates for different startups be easily organized. Now, any investor starting with a check of $10,000 is able to join our syndicates again and get an access to the best startups that we had found through our global network. And I would like also to welcome you to look at this platform as well. And now I would like to pass a word to the CEO of the network of the VC house, Natalie Parshuta, and she will tell you about what this is. Natalie, are you with us?
Yeah, thank you, Anna. Hello, everybody, and I'm glad to see you here today. I'd like to introduce you to our new project, VC House. This is an invitation-only online community and a network created exclusively for VCs, where they can exchange deals in which they participate as active or lead investors. And what is more, it is a platform for specialized offline events, like LPGP events, where VCs can find investors for their funds. So I invite you to join VC House. My contact details will be in the chat. And now I'd like to return the floor to our host for today's event, Lilia. She will lead you through our unicorn battle in Scandinavia. Lilia?
Thank you very much. So I will share also presentation.
Lilia?
We have great partners of our today's event. It's our Silicon Finance Real Acceleration Program, our communication partners, Tech UA and Arctic Startups. They really made a good job for us and share a word about our events. So thanks to them, we did our audience much wider. And so our agenda, what we will do today. So at first, we will be happy to introduce our judges, and it's really great opportunity for every startup to see who they will be pitching to. Then we will have a startup competition. Startups, please remind that you have 3 minutes to pitch, and you will have also 3 minutes for a Q&A session. And after that, if your time is up, I will stop you, and any extra questions will go to the chat. We will transfer them to this channel, and we will have some time to answer these questions during our networking. So do not worry, you won't lose any chance to communicate. Okay, and the best part, so our judges, sorry, our best part is the winner's announcement. We'll have the results in real time, so be ready. We won't wait for long. And meet our judges. I'm happy to introduce our Chief Executive Officer of Startup Network Ecosystem, Alexander Soroka. Please have a look.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Lilia. It's good to see you. And our fund is really industry agnostic, and usually we invest from 50 to 250K in the startups which are usually based in United States or Europe. That's all for now.
Okay, maybe dear judges, some of you would like to introduce yourself.
Yes, Roman Nikita from ICU is next one.
Oh yes, hello, everybody.
Hi, Roman.
Hi.
Well, happy to be part of Scandinavian battle. I'm from ICU Ventures. We're late seed round A investors that invest into founders that are usually associated with have grounds in Central and Eastern Europe. We are industry agnostic. We invest from 200 to 1 million, and looking forward to great pitches today, and wishing best luck to all participants.
Thank you very much. So maybe someone else would like, there are a lot of new judges at this event. They join us at first. We'll be happy to meet you.
Yeah, I can go on. It's Magnus Holm here. I'm from Sweden. My background and basically what I've been focusing on the last 25, 30 years is really medical devices, so innovative medtech solutions, in particular in the cardiovascular space. I also work for a European venture capital fund, a quite small focused fund that invests in early stage medtech projects, medtech and digital health projects in Europe.
Hello, can I just continue, or how do you want it to do that? Okay, my name is Annette Nordvall. I'm an early stage tech investor. I've been investing for the past 30 years. I reside in Sweden now since 2010. Lived on the East Coast in Raleigh, North Carolina for 17 years. Investing in and CEO of a network called Forum Nordics, which is Forum is an international network. We have about 3,000 investors and members in the organization. And here in Sweden or in the Nordics, we have something called Cross Nordic Capital, which is a member-based joint venture where we invest actually from together. So we top up investments that are done through the network in Forum Nordics. So on Thursday, we have our last sort of forum meeting online. So I'll be more than happy to have you come and check out our 4 ventures that are presenting there as well.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Annette. Yes, in front.
So this is Irfan from Gwendal from Copenhagen. We are a venture firm out of Copenhagen, and we are mainly investing to software companies. We have roughly 17 companies in our portfolio, and our investment is typically, a late C A rounds. We start with typically, 1 million euro and invest up to 5 million to the companies and help them grow from there, basically. So I know quite a few of the companies on the list, and looking forward to hear more about those companies.
Wonderful. Great to have you with us. Yes. And the next one will be...
Maybe we should cover the rest of Sweden here as well. This is another Magnus from southern Sweden. And I'm from...
Quite another Magnus.
Quite another Magnus. That's a famous name. So I'm from Stoaf, and we are a Swedish-based VC fund, currently running our 3rd fund. And we invest very early stage in, what many people call deep tech. So we do technology, life science, and sustainable energy investments.
Great. Wonderful. Great to know that.
Mm-hmm.
And ladies.
Maybe we should stick to Magnus, as my name is Björk Magnus Dacia.
Yes, that's a good idea.
So I'm Icelandic, but based in Denmark. And the last couple of years, I have been working on project validations for matchmaking with the European, American, or UK grants, as well as investors based in Austria, a big network called M27. So I am always scouting Danish, Greenlandish, and Faroese projects for, as I said, grants and investors.
Okay, wonderful. Great that you could make it. Yes. Come on, guys. There are a lot of wonderful people. Yes, sure. Yeah, Jarmo.
Okay, hi. Nice to meet you all. I'm Jarmo Haapalainen from Smart Up Capital. We are landing 2nd round companies to New York, giving companies a 10 years tax package from the state of New York. And our tickets are 3 million 1st round, and the fund is 150 million in Luxembourg. At the same time, I'm working with several startups myself and investing early stage seed rounds and helping them to the global markets. I had to highlight that Finland right now is #1 in the Europe when you compare the investments coming in per GDP. England is second and Denmark is third. So we are very active here in Nordics.
So we are in the right spot right now, right?
Yes.
Good to know that. Yes. Okay. Do we have anyone from Sweden, from Norway?
Okay.
Yeah. Who wants to go next? Use this opportunity to say what industry you invest in, what geography you invest in, if you are agnostic or not, or what checks your VC funds is. So the whole world will hear you, because we are broadcasting live and we are visible in 67 countries all over the world right now.
Okay, maybe, can I continue?
Sure, you should, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Mark from Business Buddies based in Berlin. So we are kind of customized accelerators supporting companies and building a company, fundraising, strategy development, and do also some earlier stage investments. And I'm also involved in the Climate Tech Accelerator here in Berlin.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I see Anna plugged in.
Anna, I'm here. Yes, thank you. I'm Anna Margaret. I am representing Inspiralia Group for the Nordics, all Scandinavian countries. I am located in Iceland. And as Björk has already mentioned, Björk, who is also Icelandic, lives in Denmark. We do support innovative companies in international business development, including investors, seeking investors and public grants. And this is why we are here. We are also here for M27 in Austria, which has created an interesting online platform between investors and innovation. And it will be good to see you there as well.
Thank you.
Those are European investors, mainly. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Maybe I steal the stage
Sure.
next. So Juppe Arla from Vended Capital, a Finnish B2B SaaS investor. We do late seed B2B SaaS investments indeed. Typically, the initial ticket is between 500K and 1 million. And we invest all around the Nordics, Baltics, and also look at Russia.
Mm-hmm. Good. That's wonderful.
Thank you. So we have some extra judges. Would you, if you like, please join.
Yes, and next one is one. Next one goes.
Hey, this is Cedric. Maybe I'll introduce myself.
Yes,
hope you
sure.
can hear me well. So my name is Cedric. It's my second time being a judge here at Unicorn Battle. So thank you very much for having me back. I'm very much looking forward to this. And yeah, I'm based in Switzerland with Emerald Technology Ventures. We invest in startups that are in the industrial technology space. So things like robotics, IoT, self-driving cars, electrification, new materials, industrial software, these kind of things. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Okay, that's great to have you back. And
I can also introduce myself.
Mm-hmm,
So
sure.
hi everyone, I'm happy to be here. Anna Gaub from IVI Tech Fund. We are an early stage VC based out of Tel Aviv. We invest in early stage, so meaning seed, Series A, sometimes also Series B with typical ticket size of $2 to $4 million. And happy to be here with you today.
That's great to have you. Yes, and who wants to go next one? Who wants to go next too?
Hi, my name is Gunther Kraft from Germany, Sariva Ventures. We do invest in small seed startups and prepare them for corporates. We connect them to corporates like Merck Pharmaceuticals or Continental in the automotive world.
Okay, thanks Gunther for telling that. And last call, judges. Intro. Yes, hi Eric.
Hi, I just wanted to say hello to everyone. I'm from a quite young organization. We're just starting up at Innovation Embassy, where we are connecting co-working spaces to create what we call innovation lifelines. So invest mostly in new startups that have some kind of what we call for global impact agenda. And it can be a range of areas, really. It all depends on the various co-working spaces. So we're looking forward to having about 100 new co-working spaces within the next year, except this whole COVID thing sort of put a wrench in the spanner, didn't it? So anyway, that was me.
That's wonderful, but it's a good time to build network, right?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yes.
So,
Lucas, hi.
Hi, I'm Lucas from Equity Pitcher Ventures, also based in Zurich, Switzerland. And it's also my second time as a judge at the Unicorn Battle, so happy to be here. And we're post seed venture fund focused on B2B SaaS startups, with initial ticket sizes from 500K to 1 million.
That's great. Thanks for coming. And the very last call. Yes, hi.
Can I go in?
Sure, you should.
Yeah. Nice to meet you all. I'm Yuan Long, the CEO of a big size business group. I come from Sweden, Gothenburg. We do support the startups as an accelerator, and we collected 2 billion euro last year. So we also do the venture capital invest. We also connect the markets between the Europe and Asia. So I'm happy to be here. So thank you very much.
That's wonderful. We are very glad to have you with us on the expert board. And the very, very last call for judges. Who wants to go next one? Who wants to go next 2? Who wants to go next 3? Sold. Okay, Lila, floor is yours. Nobody wants to challenge you.
Great.
And I will share the screen again, and you will be able to tell us about the...
So now we'll talk about the most important moment, because our judges have to vote, have to grab the best startup today to the Silicon Valley and give him the best opportunities to get as much money as it is possible. So, dear judges, every one of you have already got personal links for voting. So please tell me, have you used it already or not? If you don't have your personal link, please contact me directly or our support team in the chat, and they will immediately send you your link one more time. So, and also if you have any other issues with your audio, with your video, or something else, please contact our support girls.
So how is that supposed to look? Just a quick kind of sanity check. Is that a link in a mail that we should look for?
Yes, it should be a link in your email, and it was sent you separately once 1 hour before the beginning, and also we sent you today email with agenda, with startup list, and with your personal links to Zoom and to voting platform. So
yeah, I have a personal link to Zoom. So is that the same thing as the voting function?
No, it is another link. Please message me in chat or someone with word support in the name, and we will send you directly your link one more time. Okay, thank you. So how to vote? Click on
just to add that for the others as well. The link is in the first email this morning, and it's your personal link for voting. I think it's the second sentence. If you look in it, you can find it. It's a bit
It's a link
confusing
that
with
starts
the
with
Zoom
battles.
links.
The link will start with battles.
Battle.startup.network.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it's a personal link. When you log into it, it looks like the event page, and you scroll down to the startups and you see numbers from 1 to 5, and you rate the startups by the investment potential, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, and you just put the press the box and it becomes blue. when you press it. And that is it. And you can change your mark if you want to. If you don't have your personal link, just write it in the chat and our support team will help you out.
Okay, thank you. And also our guests have the opportunity to vote, and please be sure that your vote matters. So please just register on our event landing page and give your like or dislike to the startups, and it is the way you can support them. We will send the link to the event directly to our chat, so be sure. Have a look on our startup team. We've got 10 like best startups for this battle, and they will start in a minute. The first one, Luggage Hero. Please be ready. Let me know that you are with us. Great. We don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good.
Good. We don't see your video.
You don't see my video, really?
Yes, I see right
look
now.
at myself
Good.
here. Sorry. Let me see. But can you see my screen? It should be sharing the screen right now.
Yes, it works and it looks good. No worries.
It says my camera is on, but you
Yes,
have to live without my face, but just my voice.
We can find your face.
That's fine. We can see you. That's fine. Go on.
You can see me?
Yeah, we can see both.
All right, good. All right, so you can see the screen. Thank you very much. Yeah, just let me know whenever my 3 minutes starts and I can take off.
I will do, be sure. Start when you're ready.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, welcome everybody, and thank you very much for having Luggage Hero here attending this Unicorn battle. I represent Luggage Hero as CEO and founder, and Luggage Hero is about freeing travelers everywhere. And we've created a world-leading on-demand luggage storage platform that is live from 39 cities in Europe and in the US. Our solution are for travelers, primarily people coming to a city, staying in an apartment or in transit. And the way our system works is that we facilitate a luggage storage unit in the form of being a local shop, cafe, restaurant, and even hotels that free up space for travelers so they can go in and they can store their luggage on an hourly basis. The way our system works is quite unique and one of a kind. We've developed an hourly based service that provides the travelers with an app they can download or they can access it online. And from registering a user, they get access to all our locations all around the 39 cities, and they can choose their nearest location to go and drop their luggage. Whenever they arrive at the location, they start a timer on their own phone, indicating from whenever they start paying, and they're provided unique security seals at every location. Whenever they will stop the timer, they simply stop it by pushing their own phone, and they submit their feedback on the experience of using the service. So far, we've built up a lot of traction. We've stored more than 2.2 million hours in the total of this last 4 years, and 1 million has come in for the past 10 months. We have more than 1,000 shops on board, more than 250,000 users registered, and we're live from 39 cities. We have a goal that in end of 2022, we will have passed 30 million hours and we'll be live from 88 cities. we're the only competitive platform out there actually providing an on-demand solution. And we're very, very proud of the feedback that we've had so far from our travelers using our service. COVID-19 happened, of course, it's impacted us deeply, but as any crisis in the past, travel will always pick up as it is a mega trend. So basically, join our journey. Thank you for having us.
Great. You did really good job.
Thank you.
3 minutes, exactly, 0, 0.
Thank you.
So, dear judges, it's your turn. Please ask any questions.
So quick question here. This is Irfan from Momentum Equity Copenhagen. So how do you keep your users engaged between their travels? Because, you know, people travel maybe 1-2 times a year. So what's preventing your users to sort of, you know, use any other competitive service when they travel again? How do you keep the users sort of loyal to your platform?
So most of our users receive hourly discounts. Like whenever they use our service several times, they save up hours so they can use it again. And we are the only one among all our competitors that can actually offer our service on an hourly basis. So it's not something you can find among any of our competitors.
And how do you sort of acquire users, and what's the user acquisition cost?
So our unit economics is in average €6 per user in 2019, and our average basket size per booking is €15.
So which is like roughly 1 day's storage of I guess.
It's usually because people store more than one bag.
Okay. All right.
How widespread are you? Maybe you mentioned it and I missed it. You said 39 cities in Europe and US. So in a city like Barcelona, how many places are you actually kind of contracted with?
Yeah, so in a city like Barcelona, we have approximately 80 locations. In a city like London, we have more than 130. In a city like New York City, we have more than 150 locations. So obviously, the bigger the city, the more spread we have and more locations we have.
Thanks.
Okay, time for the questions is up.
I have a comment that I think it's great that you have the easy usability, as the usability is the key element here. If it's complex, nobody's interested to try again. Have you been thinking about joining forces with the last mile delivery services?
We certainly had a lot of offers from different providers wanting to do that, but it's definitely not something that we're looking into at this point. We found this model to work very effective. It's very low cost, it's very easy, it's very simple, and we still need to scale this concept much wider before we go into complicating the model.
Thank you.
Hi, Yannick. This is Gunther from Germany. Yannick, what are you looking for?
So we are currently looking for a raise at €6 million. And so far we have about $500,000 of it.
Do you have any investors already?
Yes, we do. We have a VC on board who joined last year. And we just finished off a smaller bridge round the previous month from now at €400,000.
Do you open your valuation at this moment or later?
Our valuation at this point is 14 million euros.
Thank you, guys. Any extra questions, please write down in our chat. We will come back to them during our networking session. Next startup is Predicel. Please prepare, open your presentation.
Thank you. And it says that I'm not able to share because of, thank you.
Yes.
Someone else were sharing, but now it will be there, and just checking that you are able to see. Right, just checking, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect.
So start as you're ready.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, and good afternoon for everyone. This is Aki Kuivalainen from Predicel from Finland, and happy to see on the jury side that there is a Finnish blood also. So happy about the opportunity. We at Predicel are talking about data-driven e-health, and what that might mean, we will tell shortly. The challenge or problem we have faced actually is a global one. We all know that the people over 65 years will double by 2050. And by that then, the chronic diseases increase rapidly through the whole globe. And by 2019, the annual costs regarding the chronic disease care was 115 billion euros on EU level. And once we followed up that the increase for the care demand because of the people getting older and more sick actually is up to 10% as annual increase. So we can easily calculate that the demand or the market will actually grow by the 10% annually in which we are participating to. And the challenge there on the market is that we know that 80% from the costs used for healthcare are appointed to treat chronic diseases and the management of the whole system. And not only 3% for the whole bunch of money are appointed or directed to the preventive actions, in which direction Predicel is willing to change. And we position ourselves actually to cover prevention side, which is in the EU level somewhat 600 million euros by its value today, and also covering the old-fashioned healthcare business, which is valued by 4 billion euros on annually. And if we take just couple of typical chronic diseases, we are able to help by the real-time data-driven care path planning and situation picture remote monitoring solution we have. We can see that, for example, taking type 2 diabetes under the consideration, the value of that business is somewhat 1.5 billion euros. And if we put it that an extra $1 billion for heart and blood vessels diseases, it's plus 1 billion euro as estimated. So we are having a big challenge ahead, and there are quite big money on the market. What we have found by our project so far as a findings, how effective we have been able to be, and once we have been calculating back that if and when we have been able to cut 40% from unnecessary visits at the emergency, how much money that means only in Finland, just purely having Finnish numbers here, we have actually we have an opportunity to aim up into the savings of more than 70 million euros. And by these data-driven care paths and augmented e-health processes, we are also able to cut 11% away from the primary level doctor appointments, which equals from the year 19's figures somewhat more than 56 million euros only in Finland. And here in Finland we have
Sorry, but your time is up.
Oh, sorry?
Your time is up. So it's turn of goes to our judges. Please ask any questions. You have 3 minutes extra to get more information about the startup.
I can kick off. So what is your solution? You never came to that. So you described the problem, but not the solution. Can you briefly speak about that?
Sure.
just opening the picture here. The solution from the logical concept wise is actually presented here. We have a self-metering or self-monitoring devices, data sources we call them, which are providing data into the platform. And by that data, by the predicel process, which is led by AI analytics tools and those concepts, we transfer the data, the real-time knowledge back to the care process as an augmented instinct and as suggestions for the care professionals. What you as a nurse or doctor should do with these patients as a suggestions. And as we know, the human being takes the final decision, but we are the supporting function.
So is there any unique thing about this? I mean, providing any unique set of information you provide the healthcare system, or is it just easier access to the information for the healthcare professionals?
Yes, thank you for the question. The uniqueness of the predicel comes actually from our algorithm-based and those risk modeling tools we are using. So that's the uniqueness of the predicel. And from the competitive landscape, we are very well aware and know that there are remote monitoring systems available, but we are heavily be able to see that the uniqueness of our core solution is the game changer here.
Okay, your time is up again. Please, judges, text your questions directly to our chat, and also you can go on using the chats. Our next startup is getting ready. So who?
Yeah. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
And now you should be able to see me too.
Yes, we see you.
Awesome. I'm really happy to be here. I've really been looking forward to this and hopefully get a lot of great feedback from all of you. So I'm just going to share my pitch deck. You should see that now.
Yeah, you
Good.
see. Okay.
Should it just go?
Sure.
Okay, great. So augmented reality is just around the corner. The major hurdles of internet speeds, mobile processing, and camera access in the browser has been solved. It's now a competition of creating content. And just like WordPress democratized website creation, HoloLink is democratizing augmented reality. And to do this, we developed a one-stop shop for creation and publishing of interactive augmented reality experiences for brands, agencies, and publishers. And our solution requires no coding and makes the experiences instantly accessible on any device through the built-in web browser. We are a team of a CTO, full stack developer, a data scientist, a designer, business developer, and myself, the CEO, and our CMO, Anna. And in only 15 months, we received more than 200 early access signups from small agencies around the world, all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. We've done beta testing with Fortune 500 companies like SAP and Discovery Education, and have developed our own proprietary image tracking algorithm. Currently, we're taking part in the world's biggest startup accelerator, Techstars, in Europe's startup capital, Tel Aviv, and we'll be launching our platform in the fall. Our business model is just as simple as our platform. It's free to get started using the platform for testing and prototyping. And once customers are ready to scale their content, they buy a monthly subscription tailored to their needs. Augmented reality is currently a $33 billion industry. But what's more exciting is that according to PwC, the industry is going to grow 10 times over the next 5 years. Our competitors are either focused on creating no-coding platforms or web-based distribution. HoloLink differentiates by tackling both issues. And we talked to over 100 companies in order to create the simplest yet most powerful platform to solve their needs. So the HoloLink platform is the easiest way to create and publish interactive augmented reality experiences powering the world's next mass medium. My name is Lucas Nygaard. I'm the CEO and co-founder of HoloLink, and I'm looking forward to connect with VCs and business angels for our upcoming seed round in September. Thank you.
So wonderful, it's really amazing. Even
Thanks.
2 minutes. My congratulations.
Thanks.
So, dear judges, I see Roman. Do you want to ask something?
Yeah, Lucas, hi. Who is the final customer, and what is your go-to-market approach generally?
Yeah, so the end user, we're looking into two industries, education and technology and the advertising industry. So for the advertising industry, the final customer is the consumer that the brand or agency is trying to communicate to. In EdTech, it's obviously students, mainly K-12. And our go-to-market strategy is that we are actively looking up to create partnerships. We are currently in discussions with Amazon, Microsoft, and Lenovo, and have a couple of 3D content creators that we're also looking to create partnerships with.
Lucas, can I understand? Do I understand correct that Techstars accepted you to their program without MVP yet? Yeah, you don't have MVP.
Oh yeah, we have an MVP. We built an early alpha that was what we beta tested with Discovery Education and SAP, and now we are building the what's going to be the final product, and that's what we're launching in the fall. So we have a fully functioning alpha of our platform.
Why Israel? Do they have special program for AR there in Israel?
In AR is interesting. The most funded AR startup called Magic Leap is Israeli. That's one reason. The other reason is that, as you probably know, Israel is this startup capital of Europe with more VC money being invested, I think, than in any other European country. Okay. So it's the startup ecosystem, the investments, and the people we're working with from Techstars in Tel Aviv are just amazing.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Lucas, this is Yunlong from Wixas, and have you got any investment already?
Yeah, we closed a pre-seed round with the Techstars and an American business angel called Greg Moga.
Yes.
He has a lot of experience in the media industry and sits on the advisory board of National Geographic.
Okay. Okay. And how much you need now?
We're looking to raise a seed round. We haven't finalized the details yet. This is mainly just to connect and build relationship with investors. But a rough estimation would be between $1 and $2 million.
Okay. Okay. Good job. Impressive.
Thanks. Looking forward to connect with you.
Okay.
So great. Thank you very much. Our next participant, Startup HoloLink. I see that you are here with us. Please share your presentation. Lucas.
I'm Lucas. I just pitched.
Okay.
Sorry, I think you're looking for a flight.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's my mistake.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay, Startup Flight.
Yes, hi, that's me, right?
Yes.
Flight? Cool, great. Let me see here.
Yes.
Excellent. So, thank you for having me, guys. Really excited to be here and to pitch to you. Now, I've decided to not share a screen, to not share a presentation, but to speak. by myself, so you could look at me, listen to me, and I'll share our deck separately in the chat. I hope that's okay.
Okay, you can do this if you like.
Excellent. So I'll start then. So my name is Yusuf. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Flype. As you guys know, customers today are expecting much better and much faster services all the time. We want things yesterday. And if you look at the delivery industry specifically, you see that 46% of delivery today is express. And the number is just rising. Research and statistics are showing that 25% of customers would abandon their shopping cart online at checkout if they do not see a next day delivery option. And retailers who are adding a next day delivery option are seeing a 10% increase in their revenues. That's why you see a lot of retailers that are spending billions of dollars in research and development just to introduce next day delivery to a few more areas. However, adding a next day delivery alternative is very complicated. And I'll illustrate this with an example. One of the customers who are interested in using our service as soon as we launch in the US is Rituals. They're a global brand for cosmetics. They have a lot of stores in the US, a lot of stores in California, in New York, other states, but they only have one distribution center in Wisconsin. Now, naturally, all of the online orders that come in via the web are shipped from the distribution center. They cannot ship them from the stores. Because of that, their fastest delivery option today is 4 business days, which is totally unacceptable. And that's where Flype comes in. Flype is a platform that enables retailers to ship parcels from their individual stores, any store they own, to customers in other cities and other countries within 1 day. And they do that by shipping the parcels with daily travelers. This will not only offer their customers a premium next day delivery service that is unprecedented, it will also decentralize their entire logistics, enabling each store they have to act as a distribution center, saving them billions of dollars in facility costs and invaluable time. Our model has already been proven, both by us because we've delivered parcels already, and by other companies who have done this on a larger scale, but peer-to-peer basis. And we've already received a lot of interest from many stores who want to use our service as soon as we launch, guaranteeing us initial demand of 1,000 parcels per day to be shipped with our travelers. September last year, we were approached by the Walton Family Foundation and the CAI in the US, where they enrolled us in their incubator program, the Scale Challenge. We were the only European company among 150 US participants. And we are proud and humbled that we were chosen winners of the program this year in March, and we'll be flying to Northwest Arkansas to meet with the Walton family, the network of investors who are interested in backing the company in September this year. Our work on the product is at full speed. We will launch in September this year. And right now, we are looking for partners. We're looking for investors who will add value to the company and who will help us in helping retailers retain their customers. Thank you very much. And I look forward to connecting more with all of you.
Dear Yusuf, it's great. Your time is like 3 minutes. You did a really good job.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So, dear judges, would you like to ask something?
This is Irfan. I was just wondering, I mean, as a traveler, it sounds like, you know, a very, very complicated process to, you know, pick up a product and take it somewhere and deliver it and all that. To me, it sounds really something that I don't know, that a traveler would have a hard time doing. That's one. The second is, how do you ensure the whole safety aspect of the delivery? You know, when you go to an airport and you have to, you know, tell them that it's not a product you're just picking up, but something you pack it yourself and all that. To me, the process sounds really, really difficult to manage.
Yeah. So do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent. I'll answer your question. Happy to do that. So the process is fairly simple, really easy for the traveler. We've already done this. This is how it works. Basically, let's say Alice is a traveler traveling from Stockholm to Paris. She's a registered flyer on the platform. She's verified. She puts a travel notice in the app, registering her preferences. She says, hey, I want to pick up parcels from this 3-kilometer radius in Stockholm, and I can only deliver in this 3-kilometer radius in Paris. And we match her with parcels that match her preferences. So she sees that she has 5 parcels to pick up from Kicks, the cosmetic store, just down the street in Galleria. She goes into the stores, pick up the 5 parcels, put it in her bag, and then in Paris, she can either give it to the final customer if they're close, or she could just drop off the entire luggage at a last mile delivery provider that we collaborate with. So it's fairly simple. One pickup location, one drop-off location, and you get paid per parcel. And you get paid, it's really worth it for the travelers, about 150 crowns, so about $15 to $20 per parcel. So imagine, 5 parcels would basically cover a one-way trip to Paris.
So thank you very much.
Oh, sorry, your other question. You, as a traveler, you pick up the parcel by yourself in the store. You see exactly what it is. It's like shopping at the store. So you have no problem with the security or the customs at all. We've gotten a lot of help in our research and development from Swedavia, from Transportstyrelsen and other agencies in Sweden and other European countries, and this is completely covered.
Okay, so your time is up. Please, dear chat, write down your questions in our chat, or you can also directly chat our Rate Yourself. So our next participant, actually we'll have 2 participants at the same time. Our startup Gigstar. Guys, please join us. Open your presentation, prepare. Yes, I see it. Please do a full screen. Okay, and as you know, we have to see you. Tell me something.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing fine. Let's see if we can.
Can you see us? Can you see us?
Can you see us?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay, so you can see the screen, and you can also see the yeah, you can see us, and you can see the presentation. Right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sure. You can start as you're ready. Take a few seconds.
All right, so hello everyone. My name is Amin Durrani, and with me I have my friend Daniel Barnes.
Hi.
Hi. We would like to pitch our startup Gigstar.app. So since 2008, I have had multiple physical companies and experienced the pain related to the costs and the time consumptions of hiring, management, and payment processes for a flexible workforce. To solve this, we have built a convenient hiring and payment app connecting companies with the screened local on-demand workers.
Yeah, so our typical customer needs to have production running without any setbacks. They want to hire hands and feet that can swiftly come in and help the company in case of other personnel is sick or away for other reasons. A few examples would be restaurants needing kitchen staff and waiters, or transport companies in need of chauffeurs. So we have illustrated the use case process, and we can elaborate upon request.
So our team consists of Daniel Barnes and me, 2 founders who have combined, we have the needed skills to make this company a success. We have both worked together at 3Mobile and also worked on minor projects prior to becoming business partners. So to take the right decisions during our business development, we have gained backup and recognition from strong profiles who voluntarily have joined our advisory board.
Yeah. A quick recap on the market for temporary jobs and freelance economy. It's growing each year. We previously saw how the gig economy exploded during the 2008 crisis. We are once again experiencing a rise in the gig economy because of COVID-19. Companies are much more aware of the HR costs and will prefer flexible workforce to keep fixed costs as low as possible. So right now, the total available market size is estimated to $493 billion US. And we have narrowed it down to a minimum local obtainable market of $171 million. And that's just the minimum. And this is based on a 2019 HR service report from World Employment Confederation.
So we have differentiated our company from other local market players, since most of them are either traditional temp agencies or only a job listing platform. We innovate by integrating AI-based scheduling feature, enabling auto freelancer requests based on sick leave, weather, season, and availability. Gigstar also provides a freelancer account, which includes payment, time tracking, and rating feature, making it easier for freelancers to charge any client. We have a fully functional MVP with proven traction and revenue. We also have a solid go-to-market strategy and are currently in the product market fit stage.
So almost at the end here, when activating digital marketing, we estimate a customer acquisition cost of $350. So far, all customers are acquired for free by cold calling and trolling social media. Customer lifetime value is estimated at $3,900 over 3 years based on standards within our business and the fact that we have already seen our customers return. We are furthermore looking into a subscription model.
Yeah, and I think 3 minutes might be up. Just explaining about our valuation. So our pre-money evaluation is set to $1.6 million US, and it's based on the huge potential this model has worldwide. Even though COVID-19 was a huge backlash for most industries, we are still here and are noticing a rise in the need of our platform.
Great, thank you very much. That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Thank you very much. You're also in time.
Great.
Okay. So dear judges, are you ready? Please, you have 3 minutes. Give us great questions.
Yeah, can you provide us an overview of the competition?
Yeah, so do you want names of any competitors?
Well, whatever. I mean, just say that what they do, or actually what you do that is unique to you and that they don't have.
So some of the existing players are, of course, the temp agencies themselves. They are operating in a way which we used to call faster horses. They're trying just to improve the current existing model. What we are trying to do is totally innovate the whole way of hiring and using workers on demand. So basically, the temp agencies, you have to call them, you have to be an existing client, and then you can request a worker. It will just take much longer. We actually have tried it. It takes around 2 days if you need someone on demand. With our platform, we cut away the temp agency and we let the worker connect to the employer or to the company directly with the facilities we have. For example, as a chat service and profile screened. We have screened their criminal record, etc. So,
and just bear in mind also that contracts and payment is automated. It's not touched by hand, it's just automated everything.
How do you do the quality check of the people?
Sorry, somebody?
How do you do the quality check of the people? Because this is very extensive and very
Yeah, it's manual. It's done by us and will be done by a support team in the future.
But usually they just upload their criminal record, which is a requirement, and any certificate. And this way we also show the profile to the company and say, this freelancer has these qualities and this criminal record. Usually we only allow people without any criminal history.
It's very important to say you could have different segments of people, but the manual check of the criminal record that is real and things like that, this is really valuable to the customers. So it's not something that you can completely automate.
So I have one question. How do you comply with regulation regarding taxes, etc.? The well-known Scandinavian social model. Yeah.
It's definitely easy. You can.
Yeah, so basically in Denmark, you can earn up to 50,000 krona. What we have is a fully transparent support model for anyone who wants to earn more than the $50,000, 50,000 Danish krona, and we're helping them to get a CVR number. In Denmark, the freelance industry is also growing, and there is actually a lot of discussion in the media about how to, and that's also worldwide, how to make it easier to become a freelancer, also in regards to taxation and the reports. So yeah, we're supporting them, but we hope and also have noticed that SCAT in Denmark, the regulation are working on making things more automated, so we can just directly input data or send it forward to them.
Okay.
Thank you. We have no time for questions, so please, judges, you can also use chat. And I would like to remind you that we still have to vote. Dear guests, dear judges, use your personal links. Go to a voting platform and choose the one you like. We will be really happy because in the end, we'll have the winner. So the next one, dear Daniel sent startup video, right? Please.
Yeah. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I hear you. I see you. I hope everyone do the same.
Let's see. I'm trying to share my screen now.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, then I'm good. I'm good to go.
Okay, good. Start.
Stories. Stories have always been the most powerful human creation. Through stories, we can inspire and evoke emotions. But for the creators behind the visual stories, the professional filmmakers and photographers, getting access to the right equipment is a true pain. The gear is too expensive. It can easily cost over 20,000 euros to buy, and just half a year later, they will have to upgrade for the newest model. Another option is to rent gear, but renting from existing rental houses is also too expensive for many upcoming creators. And if they choose to rent from other local filmmakers, there isn't any insurance to cover. This leaves us with so many great stories out there, which never reaches its full potential. My name is Daniel. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Video, and this is why we are here. We make it 40% cheaper, faster, and safe to rent professional film and photo equipment. We achieve this by running a digital marketplace where filmmakers and photographers safely can rent and rent out costly gear between each other. So think an Airbnb of professional film equipment. Today, we help more than 2,700 creators to reach their full potential across Denmark, London, Berlin, and Amsterdam. Furthermore, in winter, we closed our pre-seed of 500,000 euros with key investors. And furthermore, we tested our camera subscription model where people can rent on a monthly basis. And thirdly, then we partnered up with the world's second largest insurance broker, Aon, which means that if you rent through Video, you can shoot anywhere in the world with insurance. Our business model is simple and scalable. We take a total commission of 17% of each transaction. And that's just the beginning of tapping into this extensive and growing market. A global market of over 83 billion euros. Furthermore, there are over 50 million creators in the world. The sharing economy is booming, and access instead of ownership is the future. In other words, the timing for Video couldn't be better. During the next 6 months, we will prove our business in our new markets, and then we will onboard the manufacturers to provide their gear for our subscription model. And then we will expand to cover the rest of Europe. And for that, we're looking at our seed round, autumn 2020, where we'll be raising 2.5 million. So if you want to be a part of the world's largest community for creators, please reach out to me after this session. I'm Daniel, we are Video, and together we can keep great stories alive. Thank you.
Thank you. You are also in time. Good to have such great participants. So dear judges, your turn.
Yeah, you're looking for 2.5 million. So what is your pre-man evaluation for that, and how do you justify that?
Yeah, we are not settled yet regarding this. It's in autumn 2020, so we are getting ready towards it.
Okay, so who will be next? I see actually this startup is unusual, so I'm sure that you want to get more information.
Daniel, and can you tell a little bit about your traction for today?
Yeah. So today we've been going for a bit over a year. We're Danish based, and we in 2019 was our first year live, where we generated a GMV of 130,000 euros, only based in Denmark, and that's basically based upon a CAC of 25 and an estimated lifetime value of 50 of 18 months. So it gives us an OS2. What happens now is that we will dig into, we've been really good at covering short-term rentals. So it means daily or weekly rentals. And now we're looking into also covers monthly rentals.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
and your revenue in April, for example?
In April, it was 13,000 euros in Denmark.
13, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so our next participant.
Sorry, can I just ask, is
okay.
it correctly understood that the 2.5 million is going to be used to cover for the for the longer term rentals of a month?
Yeah, exactly. So a part of it, the way is we see a world where it's the manufacturers who actually becomes the direct lenders at our platform to provide their gear. But for us to go there, we first need to provide gear ourselves, where we need to cover the debt facility, and a part of the investment will be used for that. Yeah.
And just really quick, what's your step-in model for the investors then? Is it equity, or what do you think? Do you have some kind of fancy business model? It could be in that direction.
Basically, we are open for different models. Again, we haven't settled upon actually closing, because this the situation right now is that we will also prove that the subscription model works, and when we prove that throughout the summer, then we're also ready to actually execute the next time funding, because we just secured a runway of a year from now. So,
right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much for your questions and for the answers. Thank you, Daniel. Our next startup will be at Davik. Please, dear John, join us. Open your presentation. Yes, it's right. Dear John. Oh, yeah, I see it. Great.
Yes, and now you hopefully hear me, and shortly you should be able to see me as well.
Yes, I see you and hear you. Your presentation is also works good.
Okay, yes. Okay, sorry. Hello everyone. I'm John Seastad. I'm the CEO of Davik. We are the first high-tech startup out of Greenland, now based in Denmark. Our story is that of people in the Arctic who lack basic digital communication, even within eyesight of each other. Our mission is to break down the digital inequality, especially affecting people in rural areas. And that did not provide the next slide. Yes. Normally, we take connectivity for granted, but in reality, more than 60% of the world landmass is not covered by wireless broadband. More than 50% of the world population have no access to broadband internet. And in reality, rural Europe also lack access to high quality internet. This is all in all an urgent social problem. And in these days, we are reminded that access to digital communication is very important during emergencies. But it is not only a problem, it is also a huge business opportunity. With a global market value of 15 billion euros that operators cannot reach without having an enabling low-cost technology like ours. When we look at the market in Europe, we estimate 25 million customers. And well, looking at the US, they have the same 25 million people without access to the internet. We expect Atavik to be able to reach 2% market share in Europe and the US, and 1% in South America as well. All in all, we have something like 3.6 billion unconnected users in developing countries. What is it that we do? This is what we do with our patented solution. We connect groups of people with no internet access using two things, a range extender device and an app. People can call and text named persons without having access to the internet. But if one range extender device have access to the internet, as on the left, that connection can be shared across this cloud of communication, actually creating an infinite service range. What kind of business model are we looking at? Well, it's a business-to-business hardware distribution, especially adapted to the rural coverage market. And then we have the leisure market as a secondary target. Telepost, the operator in Greenland, have committed to distribute Atavik as soon as the product is ready and project 1,000 units sold annually. Telefonica see this in relation to their project Internet for Everyone in South America. In the leisure market, we expect customers to be to have a subscription directly with Atavik. In the rural market, they would have relationships with the operators. Looking at competitors. These competitors are mainly focusing on the leisure market or the emergency segment, which is, well, the leisure market is pure business to consumers. Their technology is based on low capacity, can do texting, location sharing, no way they can share internet access, and two-way voice communications. Also, we do not see satellite operators as competitors. They are enablers. We use them as partners and provide connectivity on the ground. It's the same with...
Sorry, but your time is up. So,
sorry.
Judges, more questions, please, because we see that some information we'll still need to get.
Yes.
This is Irfan. I'm just trying to understand, you know, it's a interesting concept, but I mean, how are you sort of, you know, sorting the problem of bandwidth, because that is depending on whatever, you know, backbone transmission is provided. That's one thing. And the other is, how do you reach critical mass? In order for this to work, you need quite a few, you know, users out there using the device in the vicinity of each other in order to enable this mesh network. So how do you solve that problem unless you get a massive deal with one very big operator that's willing to invest heavily in this?
Well, I would say it depends on the market because when we talk about the leisure market, we talk about a portable device so that even small groups can actually create communication with each other, hiking the Alps or whatever. But in rural areas, you're right that we need a critical mass for a mesh cloud to actually form, and this is why if I may move back to this is why we talk about partnering with the operators in order to be able to distribute locally. We extend operators' networks. We don't compete with them. At some point, the operators' network simply cannot reach, and we can help them reach beyond that at a lower cost. Yes.
Yeah, I understand that, but still, you know, I mean, I guess it needs to be seen when it's deployed. I mean, what sort of services are you able to deliver on those devices, right? Because, you know, you're not solving the bandwidth problem with this. You're just
well,
solving the basic accessibility problem. So the question is there other technologies like, you know, like Elon Musk is putting up satellites to deliver broadband in rural area. Would you be able to compete with that?
He is putting up satellites to connect people the same as OneWeb. And this is, as I mentioned, we will not be competing directly with the satellite operators. We will be able to distribute at ground level using the satellite as backhaul. So that the satellite modem is a pricey thing. Sorry. Yeah. And we will not we will not be competing with them. We will be joining forces with them, just as the operator, the ISPs and the operators. I don't expect people to be carrying around Elon Musk Starlink mobile phones. They will have to install satellite dishes to actually get it to work, and then we can distribute from that point. And that's the same discussions we had with OneWeb. They will distribute to one location, and then we can distribute at ground level.
So more questions. We have just one possible question.
What are you looking for? What is your valuation at the moment?
Sorry, can you please repeat?
What are you looking for from an investor, and what is your valuation at the moment?
Well, we are looking for investments of $2 million. We have recently applied for the European EIC accelerator. We're granted the seal of excellence, and we are looking at other possible investors now. So, yes, and we are at a proof of concept level. We have a proof of concept established. We need to finalize the product and actually go to market.
Can I ask just the final question about the length or the range of the Wi-Fi? I mean, and by the way, congratulations from coming out of Greenland with this. I think it's a marvelous idea. I know that there's certainly a need for it, so that's great. But the range, I'm a little bit worried of that, and also for the battery consumption. And I was just wondering, you might want to consider a breadcrumb solution on top of what you're doing for people that are going remotely into Greenland, because it seems to me as if that there's a range question.
Well, that's correct. We are looking at ranges from six going towards 8 kilometers. This is something that is developing as more or less as we speak. So yes, it is tied to one of the first questions, creating a critical mass, and we do have some limitations on this 6 kilometers. And yes, Greenland is a fantastic place. But in reality, we are actually targeting other markets with potentially far more customers.
I think a breadcrumb solution would help you greatly.
Yes, and we will actually be able to support that, but all depending on people, leaving the devices. But I'm taking notes of this.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, thank you, guys. Our next startup is going to pitch. Dear Victor, please open your presentation. Let's prepare.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. So let's see if I can enter.
I'm not sure that I see your video.
My camera is on and I can see myself on the screen.
We can see you, that's fine, presentation.
Great.
So, perfect. Hi, my name is Victor Duran, and together with Magnus Andemo, we have built Caldi, which is a quality AI assessment for commodities. So a little bit of the background is that coffee is the second world most traded commodity at $200 billion per year. The compound aggregate growth rate is 5.5% according to Modern Intelligence. And there is a huge gap on the market where wherever the coffee is produced, it takes usually 1 month until this information reaches the market. We also have found a problem that the green coffee industry lacks of structure, independent and fast aggregate information about volumes and qualities, which creates a problem for importers and coffee traders. This is a little bit of, we have studied very detailed the coffee value chain, all the way from farmers to the coffee shops. And basically the important thing of this slide is the following. The data is produced at the farmers and cooperatives, but it's only made available once the coffee reaches the local exporters. And that is, as I said, at least 1 month after you get the coffee. And the importers and traders face a huge problem to plan their coffee buyout and the price due to the lack of information. So the cooperatives basically have a problem on the yield assessment. It's very subjective and the coffee has different qualities. The farmers usually don't get fully paid and there's a lack of trust, plus the entire thing is very analog. The importers, they need to do like phone calls and messages to try to get the data. Most of the time they actually don't get the data. So our solution is a mixture of hardware and software. So we have created the first objective hardware that can assess commodity quality. And we have created a cloud solution where we publish the data in real time and can facilitate the data to coffee importers and traders and as well roasters. So this is just a very simple picture of the product where you can see like the coffee beans enter, then our AI evaluates them and finds defects and produce a report about this. The cost is very cheap. It's around 350 euros in mass production. We have validated this with a very big coffee company called Lefber. So this is basically our partner at the moment. The team is me, Victor Duran, with Magnus Andemo as a CTO. Nicholas Lefber is an advisor. Pim Polisi as a Vulcan coffee advisor as well. And then for the hardware, we have Dan McCormick from Antler. So our strategy is basically use the network of Lefber to address as many buy-in stations as possible and publish the data through an organization called ICO, International Coffee Organization. The core potential is basically, we will start by developing prototypes and sending to Brazil and Honduras. We will continue until we reach the 71% of the Arabica trading, and that's only with 4 countries, Brazil, Honduras, Colombia, and Ethiopia. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. So who's paying for this equipment? Who is the payer?
The idea is not to, there will be a small, very, very small price for the farmers, something symbolic for each country. So it's not completely free, but we plan to use what is called the GAC, Growth Annual Funds from the United Nations, to finance the hardware buy-out. So as I said, the farmers will pay a symbolic amount, whatever is in each country, because they're usually very poor. So the device is not for fully free, but it's going to be mostly in buying stations and cooperatives, which have more access to credits and money than farmers.
This is Irfan. I'm just looking at your, forecast, if you like. How are you? You're saying you are going to reach 71% of Arabica producing countries in 2 years' time. How are you doing that?
Basically, we have done a statistical analysis of where do we need to put, how many, buying stations we need to reach that level. And it's less than 1,000 buying stations. I forgot the exact number. But basically, by locating the machine in key places, we can control 70% of the Arabica trading. And by producing that, we are going to sell subscriptions to coffee roasters, importers, traders, where they can get the reports or the coffee quality.
So you will own the machine yourself and you will sell that as a service, or?
We are discussing different models. We consider leasing for some time, but we think that it's better to sell the hardware to the cooperatives and buying stations, as they have experience handling this kind of hardware. The recurrent revenue is from the software part, from the reports, from the data that we sell. So the hardware is just an equipment to collect the data. We're not going to make money from the hardware.
So you're saying it's AI based. So how do you sort of train your AI algorithm, machine learning algorithm to actually provide the quality?
So basically, what we have done is we have taken around several thousands of pictures of coffee beans, and then we have painted them manually, and that requires a kind of like coffee expert connoisseur that can tell us what is a defect and what is not. And with those beans, we have provide a very basic report of the coffee quality. So there is the Specialty Coffee Association scale that tells, it gives you like the number of defects in order to reach certain scale.
Sorry, I'm sorry, there's something I didn't quite catch here. Who's the winner in this game? Because it sounds as if it's an empowerment scheme that you have going. I understand the whole of the logistics and so on, but when you're handing it off to the corporates to then help the farmers, I might be sort of biased on that.
Yeah, so the importers and the traders are the winners here. So the importers and traders now, they have to basically give a fixed price to roasters and coffee shops. So no coffee shops will allow the fluctuation of the market in the coffee. So when they said, I want to buy coffee at $50 per kilo, for example, although it's crazy price, they need to kind of plan for it. And what happens is that it's the importers and the traders that they have to take the price fluctuations in order to make profits.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have just a little time for our next two last startups. So I would like you to welcome Architecture Quote. Hi, are you with us?
Yes, sorry, I'm with you guys. I thought I got thrown in at the end. All right, perfect. Give me a hot second here to pull up my presentation. Great. And I'll go full screen. All right.
Yes. You can start.
Okay, great. Thanks everybody for giving me a chance to jump in front of some people. I'm one of the co-founders of Architecture Quote. Architecture Quote is basically a platform that allows innovative small to medium-sized architecture firms to grow by helping them discover and win new projects. We also help with collaboration and making sure that people are able to streamline the processes associated with getting projects. So the architecture industry is massive. In 2025, it's predicted to be roughly 392 billion with a B. Now, this is global architecture services, but it's just a long way to go to say it's a large market. In terms of the problems with an industry, where do I start? So it's one of the lower digitalized sectors / industries in the world in terms of AEC, architecture, engineering, and construction. Basically, these are folks still using pen and paper. Their way of finding new projects is super old school. It's word of mouth. It's table to table or in-person meetings, which obviously in COVID-19, super challenging. Small innovative firms win far less. And what ends up happening is if you don't have new projects on the board, they end up laying off these early stage architects, these folks that are brand new to a new market, and thus you have brain drain, which is basically all the learnings leave with them. We definitely believe in promoting this idea of profitability and sustainability. So everybody's familiar with these SDG goals, but number 11 is big on basically reducing waste within city planning. So as much as 30% of building materials on a construction site end up in the landfill due to frequent design changes. What if they were able to collaborate in a much cleaner way, but also make sure that things were clear from the beginning? And the other side of this is small architecture firms, they deserve a seat at the table. Most of the large companies are winning most of the projects. It's basically 5.6% of all projects are won by small firms. The rest is just the big boys, and they come in and grab everything. To me, that's not fair, and I also think it creates more jobs when you give more smaller players a chance to come in and innovate and change the way that things have been done for years. In terms of the way that the platform works, we're aggregating leads from roughly 15 different large database networks via a fancy way of basically saying scraping. So government tenders and competitions are already live on our website, so are freelance projects and organic leads. Basically, these are different projects that anybody from any part of the planet can come in and work immediately. So instead of laying off Bart the architect or Daniela the design amazing architect designer, you don't have to do that anymore. Put them on our platform, allow them to discover new projects and keep them in their current jobs. In terms of how things are going, I'd like to think we're doing really well. Over the last 6 months, we've seen a nice little spike in growth. So we're hitting roughly 11,000 unique visitors. We have 38 architects that are regularly operating on our platform. Client projects are up to 37. That means we've generated those ourselves. We have 2,104 tender listings. Those are government contracts, freelance listings, 675. That's actually doubled in the last week. We integrate 14 different feeds, and that's still growing, and we have 385 competitions. In terms of why this is a good business model, dude, this is perfect for a recession. When everybody has a job to do and life is great because the economy's on the up and up, perfect, no problem. What happens when those projects and jobs aren't there? This is what my platform was originally built for. So we basically allow anybody to come in and discover these for free. We make our money off the back end and the more advanced features, and I can go into that maybe in the Q&A side of things, but that in a nutshell is kind of what it is. Our business model is basically a subscription model paying for the more advanced features. Where we want to be in the next 6 months is using a little bit of machine learning and some statisticians to help us along to basically do a win prediction rate, which is basically lead scoring, mixed in with a little bit of autofilling so that they can template out all of their different proposals with obviously few exceptions. The goal is to get people used to using the platform so they can never imagine using something else or the old school techniques of the past. In terms of my background, 6-time startup founder. I'm obviously not Danish, you can tell by the accent. I'm actually originally from Washington, DC. I've been in the startup scene for 12 years. I run a growth hacking agency on the side while paying basically to keep this thing afloat. That means a lot of nights and weekends. I work 7 days a week. I'm used to it. And my co-founder is Martin. Martin is a phenom who taught himself how to code at the age of 12, and he's kind of my right-hand man, and we get things done. And we have a pretty nicely sized team of 12 that work out of, used to be Talent Garden Rainmaking, now we're over at Founders House. And I think I've gone over time. I don't know, am I good on time? No, you're muted. I can keep going. I'll keep going. So some of the competitors in our industry, it's really interesting because architecture is one of the more expensive things you'll ever purchase. other than buying the house itself. And so architects are often lumped into the same category as plumbers, painters, electricians. It's odd. So some of the other places where people discover architects are freelance platforms. So that's Upwork, Freelancer, People Per Hour. We scrape those sites. In terms of listing platforms, Houzz is our biggest competitor on there. And that's a really awesome platform. Honestly, they've figured out kind of the lock and mechanism of getting people to use their platform, but it hasn't penetrated the EU.
Taylor, your time is gone.
Ah, okay, cool.
So questions, time for questions, please, guys. Judge.
Yeah, I have a question. So how will this platform reduce the waste that you referred to in one of the initial slides?
Cool, good question. So the goal is to integrate with 3 or 4 different communication tools. Conceptually, architects use as many as 6 different platforms for communicating. That's SMS, WhatsApp, phone call, email, Drive, and whatever other platform they're using. We're integrating with all of those to have everything in one place. So at the very least, if somebody makes a design snafu or a mistake, it's at least tracked so that somebody can go back and say, look, we talked about this. This shouldn't have happened this way. And I think a lot of the communication errors that happen are when people are using old plans or old decisions that don't actually get put out in front of the new set of builders or the new contractors that are doing the work.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, hi, this is Cedric here. I have a question. How do you reach your customers?
So our customers are architects. And so, I don't know, I could Alt-Tab and show different things. I'm a bit of a growth hacker, which means I love playing with data. So whenever a company registers in Europe under a certain ID code, you basically have to say, I'm an architect, we do design architecture, therefore we fall under this little code. You can actually get access to any company that's listed themselves under that code and ID. So I have every company that's registered here in Denmark under the architecture services kind of umbrella. And this works the same across all the EU. If you ever want to compete on a larger scale, you have to register your company that way. So we basically have every company in the market at our fingertips, and we do email blasts and a little bit of LinkedIn targeting when budgets start to kind of come into play.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. And we've got the last.
So can I just ask just one quick question? You said that architects are your customers. So that means that it is actually like an Upwork, but just for architects, because I understand that you're also doing competitions. So that means that, for instance, if I wanted to build a new skyscraper here in Copenhagen, we're not allowed to do that, forget that. Then I would go onto your platform, build up a competition, and then there would be architects that I would be able to hire there directly, or there's something I'm sorry, forgive me. There was a bit of information that I didn't quite get.
Sure. So there's 2 different ways to look at this. We generate leads organically, which means when somebody comes to our website, if you go to architecturequote.com, you can stipulate what type of project you have, and you immediately go into the organic section of the leads that we generate. This is also really interesting for us, which means we can actually sell those leads and we can profit off of those for anybody that wants to hit the highest tier of our subscription model. Yes. So we get 20%-ish based off of every finished project. So it's definitely encouraged to get that stuff out there, and we put out a ton of content to continue to get people interested and eager to put their projects on our site.
So that means that you're not actually targeting any of the big architects. You're really just targeting all the small ones.
Correct. I think most of the big architecture firms are fat and lazy and don't know how to get out of their own way. And I think small, innovative architecture firms are where it's at and where most of the really cool stuff is happening.
Congratulations. It's the most insane thing I've seen in years.
Thanks, man.
Okay, thank you very much. Dear judges, your time, please vote for the startup if you like, or if you are worrying about something, because you have 5 marks and quite great. Do this. We need your attention to this part of the event.
Ask Taylor to stop sharing the screen.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, good.
And
dear guests, also, as you remember, you can vote. Just go to the event page. and you can do this. So our last participant, startup named Indo, right? Please share.
That's correct. How are you all doing?
Oh, we're great. We're waiting for you because you're
very
like
good.
A cherry on the bottom.
And the cherry on top. Okay, very good. So I just start sharing and go on ahead.
Yes, and I will start
Absolutely.
as you start.
First of all, can everybody see my screen?
Yes, good.
That's good. My name is Haukur, and I am the co-founder of the first challenger bank in Iceland called Indo. We will be a licensed savings bank, the first one of its kind in Iceland, and more to the point, I think internationally we will be the first of our kind in the world. So we will be offering what is called in economics as narrow banking or safe banking, and I will come a little bit onto that in a bit. But we think it's pretty cool that we can merge being the first ones in Iceland with something that hasn't been done before. Although the economic part of it has been much discussed over the last, I should say, 80, 90 years. Now, let me see here. What are we going to do? Well, first of all, it's not enough to think about setting up a new bank, which in and of itself is quite difficult and cumbersome, but it's also, is there a need? So what is happening in the banking landscape internationally and what has been happening in the last few years? And what stands out is the distrust. People just don't trust the banks. In Iceland, only 21% of Icelanders trust the banks, and in the US, it's 30% who do trust the banks. And over the years, it has become consistently lower. We see on this graph from the US what happened in 2008, and the trust just disappeared. Now, why is that? Well, banks are a black box. My money is in the bank, but I don't know what it's doing with my money. And every once in a while, the banks go bust, and I have to worry about getting my money. And if I do get my money, it's usually through some sort of government bailout, which I hate. And I am powerless to do anything about it. So I don't understand it. I need the bank. I am beholden to the bank for many things that I do, but I can't do anything about it. And they're dangerous. I mean, they're doing all kinds of stuff, much of which I don't know about, much of which I disagree with. So that is the landscape that Indo is going into and addressing. My co-founder and I, we have more than 20 years experience in running a bank in Iceland. And what we found is that what is of the utmost importance in the banking engine or in just the banking institutions as a whole is we are addressing the safety, empowerment, and control issue. With Indo, your money is always safe. Not safe in the sense that there is some depositor's guarantee that is going to back up any money that might be lost. It's just 100% safe. And you will always know where it is. It's being kept at the central bank when you're not using it. We are telling you what we're doing with your money, which is equally as important as knowing that it's safe, but you might also want to know that your money is not being used for things that you inherently or morally disagree with. It's not being used for the meat industry or agriculture or arms dealing or whatever the case may be. And furthermore, we are also incorporating in our proprietary app a whole slew of security measures that you can use to personalize your experience. Do you want to use your debit card abroad? Fine, you can allow it, or you can prohibit it, so it can't be used outside of the country. Contactless transactions, on or off. Online transactions, on or off. It's up to you. So what we do basically is we offer one product that is a current account with a debit card and a kick-ass app, and we keep your money safe and we tell you where it is, plain and simple. What we don't do is look at our customers as a source of funding with implicit taxpayer guarantee, putting the money into some sort of black box and doing all kinds of crazy things that might make us money as bankers. But if they go south, they end up costing you, the taxpayer, money. 64% of customers are belief driven. We as a company, we want to mirror what people feel about everyday life. We want to recycle the plastic. If you don't need a plastic debit card, please don't take one. Use a virtual one. We will offer carbon offsetting. We will have a function in the app showing you what your carbon footprint is and how you can offset it. There is no pollution. We will donate, by law, 5% of all our pre-tax profit to local charities, functions, whatever. We are required